Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give you to someone special. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save it from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Once bitten and twice shy, I keep my distance, but you still catch my eye. Tell me, baby, do you recognize me? Well, it's been a year, it doesn't surprise me. Merry Christmas, I wrapped it up and sent it with a note saying I love you, I meant it. Now I know what a fool I've been, but if you kiss me now, I know it will leave again. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special.
Christmas. That was kind of a sad song. Funny you picked that one, but Merry Christmas, bro. Thank you. Thank you for the music as usual. Jazz with his favorite Christmas song. I know yours is Mariah Carey's this time of the year. So Christmas is oftentimes rather controversial in the Malaysian diaspora. Over the past 5 to 10 years, you've seen all kinds of things come out about Christmas. So I'm going to dispel one myth. This cap right here has got nothing to do with the religious side of Christmas. It's just the Santa cap. I'm going to put it on, and it will stay on for the rest of the show. So there you go. One controversy bites the dust. No, there's no brainwashing element in the cap either. It's just a Christmas cap, and it's fun to put it on. So, on that note, guys, we're going to start off and frame what we're going to do here today. We're here at the IOI City Mall. It's a great place to be. Fun for the whole family. Lots of beautiful spots to take photos. Lots of great shopping opportunities as well. But on top of that, we're going to throw in a diversity discussion, a discussion of how we can move forward as a nation and heal the divide and give, because that's in the spirit of Christmas, right? Giving presents and gifts, again, not associated to the religious context. Now you can try and draw threads and connect it to the religious context of Christmas, but nevertheless, the spirit of Christmas is this: family. Spending time with your loved ones. Under the Christmas tree, you sit, open your presents, give gifts, and have a beautiful Christmas dinner. It's all about coming together and having some fun. And you'll notice that in the various elements that go into Christmas. Santa Claus has got nothing to do with the Bible. He comes down the chimney around the world, and he does it in 24 hours to give gifts to kids, well, all over the place. So that's an impossibility. He is an icon of Christmas, so to speak. He does it on a sleigh that flies through the air with 12 magical reindeer. So you can see the imagination is kind of stretched with Santa Claus. So again, another symbol of Christmas, the Christmas tree, has also got no real ties to the religious context. I mean, the whole story of Christmas itself, the religious story, took place in the Middle East. And the pine tree doesn't really exist in that part of the world. So you can see once again that there are many symbolisms around Christmas that's just about having fun. And all these symbolisms thrown in bring out the commercial aspect of Christmas, which is about shopping, let's be honest. So go out there and have a good time, shop till your heart's content, take advantage of all the Christmas discounts that IOI City Mall has to offer. We're going to talk to Mr. Wilfred shortly about some of them. But more importantly, of course, go out and celebrate Christmas with your friends. I'm sure you have someone in your circle that does. If you don't, it's time to connect and find someone. Go out and have some fun. Christmas is all about giving. We're going to be giving you an extra serving of To Terrence on this Christmas Eve. So thank you for staying with us. We're going to be coming right back with a little bit of fitness, a little bit of tech, and a bit of diversity. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Thank you for staying with us on Christmas Eve for To Terrence. I gotta hand it to Santa. Keeping this hat on 24 hours a day is kind of difficult. I can imagine what he goes through with the amount of hair he has. So yeah, it's not for everyone, I know, but it's pretty cool to wear it around Christmas. Now, today on this fitness segment, we're gonna do something a little special. Now, all my gym bros watching, don't hate me for this. Some of the advice that I'm about to dispel in this segment may not be for everyone, but it certainly is a great place to start, I think. I use this routine on the daily to help me stay fit, and well, it doesn't give you super ripped, cut muscles. It's gonna definitely give you that energy boost you need to get you through the day. So, on this fitness episode, we're gonna take you into my own gym, and we're gonna find out what I do to stay fit. So this is very special. This is my Christmas gift to all of you. Take a look. Merry Christmas, everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of Fitness, where I'm going to take you into the workouts that I do that saved my life during the pandemic. I hope they will help you too. Now, fitness is not all about getting super jacked and looking like a fitness model. It's also about ensuring that your cardiovascular system is working fine, and muscle building is very protective. So I'm gonna get you a workout that can help you do both. Help your cardio as well as help your muscle building process. Now you remember this, it is something that you need to be comfortable with, and you've got to be able to do this on a daily basis. Plus, because we're living in a very busy world, it's got to save time. So I'm gonna give you this special workout. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back, but come on in and join us inside my gym. Fitness as a philosophy for me is about being able to be in constant motion for a long period of time. And I know there is a pressure on the gram and on TikTok to look a certain way and have a chiseled abs or maybe, ripped muscles. But that's not really the goal for me. For me, it's about longevity and being able to do this for a long period of time. The reason being, there's a lot of carryover from what you do in the gym to your everyday life. Believe you me, if you stay fit, you're gonna enjoy life as a process and a journey a lot more. So during the lockdowns, we were all kind of cooped up in our houses with very little fitness activity installed. We could do body weights, but that quickly got boring, especially for those of us that could do a little bit more. So what I did was I went out and invested in some kettlebells, which is what I'm gonna show you right now. For me, kettlebells combine the best of both worlds: muscle building, weightlifting, and resistance training with cardio. Now the aspect of both kind of give you that wholesome full body workout that you're looking for in the shortest period of time. So you get the most bang for your buck. I'm gonna break down kettlebell workouts into a few simple workouts, and then I'm gonna put them all together into one mashable mashup, and then I'm gonna show you how that can translate into your fitness routine. So we're gonna start right here with the most simple kettlebell workout there is, the kettlebell swing. Kettlebell is all about point A and point B. So point A requires you to get into a deadlift-like position. Swing the kettlebell upward, back down into deadlift position. So you're not really going all the way to the ground with this deadlift, but nevertheless, the arch on your body is similar to that of a deadlift. And note, your arms are not doing any work. It's just your hips that are thrusting forward and backwards. Yeah, gentlemen, I know what you're thinking. Does this help in the area of my life that I treasure the most? Oh yeah, probably. But generally, this area is something we don't really work out. You do your deadlifts, they strengthen your posterior chain. You do your abs, they probably strengthen the muscle core here, but the system that's involved with the kettlebell swing is rarely worked out. So give it a go and see how that carries forward into your daily life. Workout number 2 is a single hand kettlebell workout called the snatch. Now once again, it's all about going from position A to position B. So position A is similar, it's like a deadlift, and then you're snatching it up onto your shoulder. See? It's just one single movement, and you can use your left hand, if you're right-handed, to stabilize. Whatever you do on your right, you have to do on your left. The snatch is probably a little bit more complicated, so you might take a little more time to get yourself used to it. But nevertheless, you can start with a lot lighter weight. I'm gonna show you here in the gym, we have weights as light as 6 kg. So it's challenging if you're going on a 16 kg single hand snatch, but it's not so challenging when you're on a 6 kg snatch. Just as long as you get the form right. The final full body workout from the kettlebell system is called a squat. Now I know squats are usually racked up on your back and you're going for PRs all the time, but with this, what you're doing is practicing the range of motion. So you're going down, it's kind of a full squat, and then up again. You're going down, up again. Very simple, very easy, and of course, you're huffing and puffing. So note, I haven't yet put it all into a single workout. So 3 workouts of full body exercise is being done with every single movement. I also have something for the core. Yes, the most important part of your body, because the core supports everything. So with the core, we're gonna go into a halo-like workout, which is lifting the kettlebell all the way up, down again. All the way up, down again. Your feet doing a little bit of a march, and you're getting the benefits of a cardio-modified workout. So, I have 4 workouts laid out on the table. What kettlebells involve, or the workouts around kettlebell involve, is putting them together. So we're gonna do that right now. Here's the deal. Whenever you're using both your arms, it's 10, 12 reps. Whenever you're only using one arm, it's 6 to 8 reps. So for this particular workout, we're gonna put it all together. 12, 12, 12 on the swing, 12 on the squat, and 12 on the halo core workout, and 6 on the kettlebell snatch. I promised you a mashable workout where we put everything together and how you construct the best full body, muscle building, and cardio workout plan for you. We'll find that out on Talk to Terrence. Check us out on TikTok, check us out on Instagram. We're gonna post up the workout there, but in the interest of time, we're gonna wrap things up here at the Kobe Gym. So come join me. There's more than 16 kilo kettlebell weights here. There's 8, 6, and even 2 if you're starting out slow. So on that note, I'm gonna hand you back to your bald, shiny chocolate host, Terrence. Back to you, dude. Welcome back to the show. Hope you're in the Christmas mood because it is time to go shopping if you haven't done so already. It's the 24th. What have you been doing? So we're here to help you out, give you some ideas. I know the nostalgia of Christmas is in the trees, in the present, is in the reindeers, the Christmas carols, but it's also in the shopping. Come on, let's be fair. It is a great opportunity to go out and shop. So where better to do it than right here in where we are situated today. Our gracious host is the IOI City, and we have joining us from the IOI City Mall, Mr. WILFRED Wong, Assistant General Manager. Thank you, Wilfred, for joining us.
Hi, Terrence.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Are you done with your shopping?
Not yet. We are, so many crowds in the mall. I'm still struggling to get one for myself, actually.
Oh
for the family.
boy, wow. So is it a big tree this year at your home?
I think the tree is always in our heart, as a side doesn't matter. Of course, for the mall, we have to have a great one.
And you have quite a few. So what is the theme behind this year's celebration at IOI City Mall?
For this year, we'll have this theme called Whimsical what we call Christmas, because we believe that after the pandemics, a lot of people actually lost direction to a certain extent. We hope that the winged fairies, which actually supposed to, the idea is to deliver presents to all the kids around the world. So meaning to say we want to bring joy, hope, and happiness to the Christmas this year. That's the theme all about, actually.
Certainly looks wonderful all around us, as there's a magical element to Christmas. There's a little bit of the fun and of course the color and grandeur is still very much intact. So what's special about this celebration, the whimsical Christmas here at IOI City Mall? What can shoppers look forward to when they come into your mall?
I think for shoppers, first to share with you, our City Mall, we have just on 25th of August, we have the second phase built up, which is about 1 million net lettable area. So it makes us the biggest shopping malls. But of course, not only biggest, we need to ensure that we have enough shops to actually fill for our guests. So that's why we bring in the different elements, ranging from F&Bs, fashions, and also accessories, so that that can actually hide up or give more options to our consumers and customer or shoppers to shop around actually.
Wonderful. Now besides of course shopping, there's going to be food. So what are your favorites when it comes to Christmas?
For food, I think a Christmas pudding is a special one. I think obviously a lot of our F&B is actually coming out with Christmas menu so that they can entice our shoppers. So in totality, we have about 150 what they call F&Bs and more is coming. So I think guests have kind of like have a lot of option to it actually.
Right, there is Christmas pudding, and then there's also Christmas at the Malaysian level, because at my house, Christmas biryani is a must-have. So
Tell me about it.
It's
Yeah,
a very
yeah, yeah,
localized thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Christmas menu, yes, we have that set of turkey, pudding, eggnog to a certain extent from the West, but there's also a lot of local elements that have been infused into Christmas, as it should be, because Christmas is celebrated around the world. There are many different elements to it, so I look forward to some local dishes being inspired by Christmas. But here's something you simply must have on the menu, the Christmas log, all right? The Christmas log is a roll of yumminess. We're going to find out a little bit more about the cookies later with Christine's Cookies. But talk to us a bit more about what else shoppers can expect. Are there any special offers, any special opportunities for them to take advantage of?
Yeah, Terrence, I mean, a lot of actually shoppers, the tenants actually offering sales because to take opportunity of the festive season, let us, we do the same. For those that have not joined our club IOI, they should join us because we have a lot of what I call specials, privilege or offerings that we actually channel through the program so that our shopper can take advantage of it actually. Yeah.
And do you see shoppers coming out decked in Christmas outfits? Because it's like kind of special to do so.
I've seen some, but not that many. I think maybe hopefully next week we'll see more of them. I mean, as far as the shopping mall is concerned, we all gear up and we see some stuff. They're actually already in Christmas mood, like what you're doing right now. That's why we are all looking forward to.
Yeah. So are there any performances that take place throughout this entire festive season here?
Definitely. We actually started the Christmas so-called events and celebration from 25th of November all the way to 2nd of December.
Right.
Of course, you have caroling, you have a lot of activities, magic show and all this thing going on. Not to forget, we also work with one of our partners, tenants, Coach. They will have a double decker right in front of our center court facing the outdoor area. That is from 23rd to the 25th of December. I think that will be something unique for us this year as well.
Nice. We're looking forward to that. So come on down to IOI City Mall and enjoy and indulge in all these shopping opportunities. Your final Christmas message for all your shoppers out there?
I think Christmas, this year is very, very special for all of us after the pandemic. I think the first thing I like to ensure everybody staying healthy. That is important. I think it's all about joy, love, happiness, and sharing the moment. I hope that this year we're able to actually engage with our family more, with our friends more, because treasure each other, because that is what Christmas is all about. Of course, to you, Terrence, I wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you too.
Merry Christmas to you too, Sir Wilfred.
Take good care.
Thank you very much for having us. And
Likewise.
on that note, guys, I know you spotted the same thing, a Christmas log kind of built out of chocolate. I'm going to find out what that's all about as we head to Christine's. So join me as I go on a little Christmas journey. Thank you very much, Mr. Wilfred, once again. As we are now joined here at where the Christmas log is at Christine's, by Iman. Thank you, Iman, for taking us on a little tour. I was drawn to your booth by that Christmas log. let's start there. What is the Christmas log all about? What's it made of?
It's made of Belgium chocolate. It's very soft, moist, and rich in chocolate flavor. This is very limited, only for this season.
Only for this season do you
Yeah.
get the Christmas log at Christine's. But there are other signatures of Christine, including this hand-rolled bagel.
Yes, hand-rolled bagel.
Talk to us about this, man. This is one of your favorites.
My favorite hand-rolled bagel is go-to anytime, any day. But we also have other hot food. This
That's
is
right.
only very light to go to.
Well, talking about light, this seems light now, but wait till you dip it in some cream cheese.
Yes, it goes well with the cream cheese.
It goes well with cream cheese, hand-rolled bagels. You got to get that at Christine's. But if you're a little hungrier, you want to visit the outlet. Where you guys located here?
Yeah, you gotta visit us at the second floor, just in front of the Texas. We have other heavier heater food.
All right. So what are your favorites on that menu?
It's gotta be everything, but if I gotta choose, it's the bagel.
It's still the bagel.
Still the bagel, savory bagel.
All right. Personally, looking at their menu, I would like to try the cannoli.
Yes,
I'd like to
cannoli
try
is
the
our
cannoli.
signature dessert.
You guys are very Italian.
Yes, we are very Italian.
Very Italian because they have something super Italian here, which is a panettone.
The panettone, yes.
Okay. So what goes into a panettone? What is a panettone?
Panettone, getting back to Italian, is like banana cake, but it's kind of hard. You have to try it, then I can explain it to you.
Okay, it's like banana cake but Italian.
But
so
better.
banana cake.
Better. You gotta give it a try.
Banana cake became panettone. And on top of that, they also have their signature cookies, which is
Yes.
something that we're going to get into shortly. But let's not forget another must-have come Christmas, gingerbread.
Gingerbread.
So you have gingerbread as well?
Yes, we do. We have the common gingerbread.
Almond gingerbread.
Almond, no, common.
Common gingerbread,
Common
right.
gingerbread.
Common gingerbread. Sorry, I misheard you there. So common gingerbread. I know there's a story about a gingerbread man and how he got wet at the end of the story. I would personally recommend you don't dip your gingerbread into anything. That's just how I like it. Don't dip your gingerbread, just enjoy it nice, hard, and spicy the way it should be. It's a little spicy because of the ginger in the bread. Somehow I don't know how to get it in there, but Iman's not going to tell me any secrets today.
All secret.
All secrets are kept in Christine's recipe book, and so is the secret behind the must-have butter-based cookies. Butter-based cookies.
This is the pastry, the croissant.
The croissants and the butter-based cookies.
Yes.
So these are another group of must-have items. He's only going to tell me that this is basically butter.
Yeah, the
This
rest is a secret.
Basically,
Croissant.
okay. Man, this guy's not giving away anything
Nope.
today. He's tight-lipped.
You gotta give it a try first.
All right, we're gonna give it a try for sure. So come check out Christine's. They're located right here at the ground floor with their similar display offering like what they have in the store. But of course, in the store they also have hot food,
Yes.
which you can check out back there. They've got everything Italian from
Pizza,
cannoli, pizza,
cannoli, pasta,
pasta,
all
and
day breakfast.
all day breakfast, my favorite thing. So go check out Christine's as you visit IOI on Christmas Eve and beyond, as they have some wonderful pastry. I don't know whether it gels well with the carbohydrate requirement that we were talking about earlier, but you know what? It's Christmas, so live and let live only once. We're gonna come back and talk about some diversity shortly, and we also have Johnson still to come. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the show, and up next is probably the most important conversation of this entire show. We're going to be putting the focus on diversity. Now, our government itself is based around the concept of diversity, the government of the day that we have. That's why it's called Kerajaan Perpaduan. So we say Salam Perpaduan here at RTM to kind of inculcate that spirit of unity. It's so important, I believe, because in the next 5 years, this message of diversity has got to get across and bridge divides. So to talk to us about diversity, we have the co-founder of the Architects of Diversity, AOD. Please welcome Jason Wee. Merry Christmas, man.
Merry Christmas,
Welcome to the
Terrence.
show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. I know you're busy with your prep for Christmas, but
For
thank you
sure.
for taking the time off to be here. So, first of all, talk to us about AOD. What do you guys do?
Sure. So, Architects of Diversity, we're a nonprofit that bridges communities among youth in Malaysia. Essentially, we create camps, we do workshops, we make ways or improve spaces for youth from different backgrounds to come together. You know, these days our schools are becoming increasingly monoracial. You don't see kids playing from different backgrounds in the park anymore. There's a higher linguistic barrier today. So what we do is we try to create spaces for youth from different backgrounds to come together, and also make sure that our schools are able to become those spaces for them.
So, having heard what you just said, I hope that people in the Ministry of Education are taking note. I mean, we don't want to create silos for kids as young as 12, where they have, or they previously had, a lot of places where they could play together and they could understand each other, because English was still very much used. Everyone spoke Bahasa, but today we find that, as you said, there are linguistic barriers. So these silos are created by our education system. So I hope something can be done to address that, and I know the new minister is looking into it. But from your perspective, now that we already have this situation, how do you go about changing it? How do you go about building those bridges?
So I think, I'll say two things. The first thing, I think we just need to know how to tackle that. Right now, we don't actually have good data or data transparency about how segregated our schools are. We know for a fact that a huge majority of, for example, Chinese Malaysians go to vernacular schools at the primary level. We also know there's been an exponential increase in the number of private and international schools. That means not only is there a racial and religious divide, but there's also suddenly now a class divide and dimension to it. So, we don't have good microgranular data about how the racial composition of each schools. We don't have good data about how students are moving from primary school to secondary school and what pathways they take. So that's the first thing. The Ministry of Education or any really department that handles or has this data, that needs to be the emphasis. The second thing is really looking at our national schools. And I think now, and when we're talking about diversity, right, our national schools have allegedly decreased diversity in the past 2 decades. Now, when we talk about how do we make our national schools more diverse, a lot of people say close down vernacular schools or close down that school, but that's a really hard-handed way going at it. But we need to first ask the question, why are people leaving these common spaces to begin with? Is it because our national schools are not more inclusive? So there really needs to be a big push, and we at Architects of Diversity try to do this as well, at how do we make our schools more inclusive places for people with different backgrounds. Does that mean making sure that we don't have discrimination, we don't have sexism, we don't have racism in these schools? Are there good policies for that? Are our curriculums inclusive for people with different backgrounds? Do Orang Asli, for example, get represented in our textbooks? I think we need to ask these questions, and obviously, whoever is in these positions of responsibility needs to really consider that.
And we've got to hear young voices like yours, man, because it's so important that when those same voices that say get rid of the vernacular schools, they can't see beyond the secondary level, because once everyone comes back together for tertiary, it doesn't seem that everybody can go to the same institutions anyway. There's already another level of segregation that exists within our tertiary institutions that we have to address. So what, we come together in primary and then you break us apart again in tertiary? Doesn't make sense. So I think there has to be more streamlined measures to tackle education. But beyond that, of course, after education, we go back into society, we work together, and that's sometimes the very first time we encounter someone from a different race or different religion. So that can be challenging. How do you propose, from AOD's perspective, we massage that and make it a more smooth transition? Because these instances do exist in society today. As diversified as we are, we do live in silos, and then we all suddenly come together at the workplace.
Yeah, so I think when you come to the workplace, so obviously we can somewhat segregate it, but obviously when essentially turn 24, 25, a lot of the social attitudes you hold are pretty much constant.
Right.
And so a big chunk of that work happens before that. But at the workspace, we actually, I think in the past parliamentary session, we just had new laws finally putting in the word discrimination into our labor laws. And so that means, employees cannot be discriminated. How that's going to come about, we'll probably find out in the near future. But the same principles that, when we talk about making a space more diverse in our education should also apply to workplace. So for example, can certain employers mandate that someone not wear the hijab or wear the hijab, right? So those are certain conditions of which places can become more inclusive for different people. I think the next level then is, how do you encourage companies to hire more diverse workforces? There's a huge, conversation, especially in the West, talking about DEI or diversity, equity, and inclusion, and a lot of companies have adopted the stance. Are our, GLCs or our homegrown companies, especially a lot of family companies, really taking into consideration to making sure that their workforce is equally diverse or not?
Well, the argument against diversity at the workplace, especially from the Western perspective, is does the best person get the job? Or does that person get the job simply because they tick a diversity criteria? What's your thought on that?
So that's definitely one way to approach of it, but that's not a healthy way of thinking about it. I think number one, we need to consider if your system of selection is only picking one particular group or one particular race or one particular religion. What exactly is your selection criteria?
Right, okay.
Right? So I think that's one thing. The second thing is that by making your application process or making your workplace more accessible to more people or more types of people, then you can get more talent. Think about it in terms of groupthink, right? Especially when a homogeneous group, and it means a group when has only one particular group of people, have scientifically shown to have, convergence of thought, which might not be the best when it comes to workplace because you need ability to criticize your work and so on and so forth. And the third thing I think is, in simply Malaysia,
Right.
if your company, I think, is only catering to one group, then you're losing out on huge segments of the market, right? Malaysia is such a diverse space. Sure, we might be regionally segregated as well, but if a company wants to appeal to a national market, that company needs to be essentially multiracial as well.
All right, we're talking about diversity on Christmas Eve, and Christmas has been sometimes a subject of contention. I put on this cap throughout the show just to show that, some parts of that misconception that goes into Christmas is just that, misconception, fake rhetoric, I don't know what you want to call it. It's definitely not for the Malaysian consumption in my point of view, but some people may disagree with me. So how do you go about dispelling myths around Christmas that have been circulating for quite some time now? Gone unchecked really, from the Christmas tree to Santa Claus. I know that that's not religious, but people perceive it to be.
I mean, when we're talking about disinformation and misinformation, especially, when a group or particular individuals in a group try to paint a boogeyman another group, right? And I think Christmas is particularly potent simply because it has such a strong symbolic, emblems, like even your hat or even the Christmas trees that we see right now. They all represent a certain form of community that people want to put down. I would say, sure, you can tackle misinformation by providing more information, but what's really the root at why people believe in these myths? It's really a form of prejudice that we perhaps have. I can imagine if you don't have any Christian or friends that do celebrate Christmas, and suddenly you move to KL and you're essentially attacked by
Christmas.
By Christmas. Yeah, you're attacked by Christmas, right? Everywhere you're hearing Mariah Carey and Wham,
wow.
and so suddenly you're confronted with this sort of almost culture that you're completely not familiar with, and it's so easy to believe
You
stuff
gotta do
about
that, or you take out your cell phone and take pictures, like what the
Yeah.
couple is doing is behind us. So I mean, it's a beautiful dichotomy of situations that factor into our society, but at the end of it, the end result can sometimes lead people down a very dark path. So I'm trying to bring people back to the center, really.
Yeah.
That's going to be my mission from 2023 onwards, bringing people back to the center. How do we do that in Malaysia?
I mean, really, this is Christmas Eve. Just last month we had, our general elections, and our country's still healing from that, right? Where we need to mend wounds between different communities. I think Christmas, or even just really Christmas to the New Year's, this kind of week where no one really works and everyone's in this holiday spirit, it's also, what people call season of giving. And, that's symbolized by Christmas gifts, which, by the way, has no religious...
Absolutely
absolutely
not.
no
You
religious,
won't find a verse in the Bible that says give gifts. wrapped in silk or something.
Also,
like
even the date of Christmas isn't religiously or historically accurate. But regardless of that, this culture of season of giving has been so ingrained that I think it's a great opportunity to one, give and appreciate the people around you and your own community, but also take this chance to reach out to a community that isn't within your typical circle, right? And if you are if you are Christian or you do celebrate Christmas, then perhaps helping someone else understand what Christmas is,
Right.
and perhaps that is not this boogeyman attempt at converting or preaching.
Absolutely not. I mean, you won't get converted if you look at a Christmas tree too long or you put on a cap, because, I'm still thinking the same way I was thinking just before I started the show. And it's just a cap. I think it's pretty cool. It's kind of dorky, so if you can put up with the sense of fashion, go ahead and put one on. Otherwise, you don't have to. It's not a compulsory thing to celebrate Christmas. Talk to us a bit about where you see the government of the day stepping in, or where should the government of the day step in to curb misinformation or disinformation, especially when it comes to minority communities.
Right. And I think I love that you mentioned minority communities, because it's oftentimes when, just by virtue of being minorities, that your truth, your version of truth is less represented. So a couple of things. So one, I think it must be the role of the media to ensure that they don't replicate these forms of misinformation. Sometimes the media puts on an article saying, this person said this, and without the full context, somebody reads the headlines and immediately, you get that surface level information, and that enters your psyche and enters your ability to access the information. So that's one thing. The second thing is really, I think, especially on the government side, to really think about how do we have the tools to correct for this misinformation. So for example, using either state media, as in, for example, where we are today, but also I think accurately disseminating information through different means. So oftentimes we have obviously social media, but how do we engage different forms of community makers or content creators to also ensure that they're putting up what is the correct information, or dispel the myth in that sense.
Since Christmas has a strong connection to Christianity, I want to ask you, as someone who celebrates, how does the day go about for you?
Well, for me, typically my family, goes to church in the morning. Afterwards, we come back home, and my family has a version called Press, and Guess, where obviously we give each other gifts, and we take turns to press the gift and guess what the gift is, and then we have a dinner with loved ones. But I think beyond the day itself, the lead up to Christmas, we just had multiple dinners, and as like every other festival, a chance to reconnect with your loved ones, but also a chance to meet new people and share the love.
Any Christmas stockings? Is there still part
No
of
Christmas stockings. We're going for a minimalistic Christmas this
no
season.
stockings, no tree.
Well, Chinese New Year is also very near.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're gonna put the two together.
Yeah, we're gonna put the oranges on the trees.
Looking forward to that. Send us some pictures. Thank you very much for coming on board, Jason. It's truly important that people get the message. Where can people reach out to you for diversity initiatives that you do at AOD?
Thank you. I think the best way to follow us is go to our website, aodmalaysia.org, or follow us on Instagram at AODMalaysia.
Thank you very much once
Thanks
again.
very much,
Merry
Terrence.
Christmas to you, my
Merry
friend.
Christmas to you too.
Thank you. And on that note, we're going to take a short breather. And when we come back, we're going to get into some technical sporting discussions. Johnson has come up with a rather interesting topic. I don't think many of us have heard about this in sport today, because we assume it's at a higher level at the Olympics, etc. But it's actually kind of distilled down to the common man as well. So don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about doping and technology and how they kind of blend together. Don't go anywhere. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the show. It is Christmas Eve when you're watching this, so thank you very much for being with us on Christmas Eve, and we hope that you guys are having a very Merry Christmas Day prep. It is the day before Christmas, and nothing's quiet anymore. The story about it being Christmas night and everything was quiet, there's no such thing anymore.
Yeah,
Everybody's busy. So today on the show, Johnson is going to be talking about something that we rarely do, controversy in sports. And he's going to blend that in with tech. So it is a 2-in-1 special from Johnson on Christmas. Thank you for all the giving. And let's get started. So this whole controversy around tech and sports started with swimming, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
With that outfit that they wear that can actually be more aerodynamic and help them breeze through the water and break records. So finally that was done away with. But it's made its way into other sports.
Yeah, running, like what I'm wearing right now.
Right,
yes.
right.
Okay.
Did you use any technology doping in that?
Luckily, no. Okay, there are reasons for that as well. So that's I'm going to show you, right?
Okay.
So first of all, let's start off with my usual running shoe.
Yep.
This is my usual one. I finished this marathon with it, 42 kilometers. It is flat, okay? Reason why it's like this is because it's very light, right? So getting a very light equipment or shoes is not illegal because end of the day, the lighter you are, the faster you go, right?
Okay.
And you save energy as well. Of course, and just enough foam for the padding. If not, it's going to be hard on you, right? So today, of course, I'm wearing another one, which is my usual walking shoe and training shoes. It has more padding because I needed to be comfortable. But in marathons and for race and for running, if there's too much padding, you're actually losing energy. Right? Every time you step on it, right, the absorption is good, but then you waste a lot of energy because it doesn't come back, right? This one is more neutral. So that's why one particular company, this particular one, right? Okay, so this one is actually the Alpha Fly. This is the one that is available in the retail, like this one, commercially, people can buy it, not cheap. But this one is able to use in marathons, and then it actually is very different because you are able to harness energy from it.
Harness energy from the shoe.
From the shoe. So a brief history, right? That's why this whole term of technology doping came about. Okay, so previously what happened was, right, Nike, okay, they created the first version called the Vaporfly. It's only for professional athletes, okay, and this is called the Vaporfly Percentix Next lah. Okay, this is Alpha Fly Next, right? So that time what happened was they already came up with this scientific study that if they make it rigid enough with carbon fiber plates, all right, and with the right amount of like this air spring, now Nike owns the Air Max, right? So what happened is that every time you step on it, okay, 3% of your energy stepping on the ground is given back to you. All right?
Given back to you.
Yeah. So this shoe is actually super bouncy. The moment you wear it, you feel like you're going to bounce around, right? So that gave a lot of edge to the athletes. And the moment they launched this, I tell you, marathon records were broken.
I think they stole this tech from Santa Claus, man. The dude's been bouncing all over chimneys around the world.
Yeah.
This must be why he's able to do it in 24 hours.
Yep, correct. So yeah, so that's why. So that time, marathons banned it. Tokyo Marathon, actually Tokyo Olympics, totally banned this technology.
Right.
Okay, and then of course they relook into the rules of race and things like that. And of course, there's just a very small one-liner that says that athletes, professional athletes, cannot use any equipment that will give them advantage, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. I mean, this is of course in the spirit of sports. When you look at the broader scale of things, not every nation is as prosperous as the next, so some athletes may not be able to afford technology such as this, whereas other athletes may take it to another level, and instead of 3 carbon plates, what's to stop them from putting in 4, 5, 6,
Yeah.
modifying the tech to suit their requirements. And you said 3%,
Yeah.
who knows, someone could find a way to give you back 10% with additional plates or whatever not. So that's why the spirit of technology doping is called as such and banned, rightfully so, in my book.
Yeah.
But recently you say that some of it is allowed.
Okay, so everyone sat down together. There's some council and all that for the sports, and
All right.
so they allow finally they draft it out that 1 carbon fiber plate is okay.
1 carbon fiber.
Yeah. And now suddenly everyone else in the industry are adding carbon fiber plate to it. Okay, the reason is why, because when you're doing long distance running, you actually need the rigidness. You see, this one you can't bend at all, right? Okay, this one, okay, you can bend a
Right.
little bit. Okay, it's still rigid because this is a running shoe. And okay, let me do this. This is my
Johnson.
training shoe. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
He did
this
it, he
one,
did it.
Woohoo! Yeah. Yeah, this is good for Pilates and yogas, walking and things like that because you need the flexibility. But the problem about that is then you are stressing your feet a lot. So this one, good for long distance running, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to do the same thing because I just had double breakfast, so it might contribute to the atmosphere.
Yeah. Luckily, I just wore this twice. I didn't wear it for any marathon. It's
Okay.
also because for all of you out there, you think that you can just buy some tech and then it will help you. Actually, no. The first time I trained on it, I was actually slower than my usual run, okay? Because a different set of muscles had to be trained to use technologies like this.
Ah, wow.
But after I got used to it, my second training, I got much faster. Okay,
Wow.
I got used to it because I can control the bounce. But why I dislike this shoe is it's very noisy.
Noisy shoe.
Noisy shoe because of all these air springs and all that. So it sounds like shop, 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 shop. And I run early in the morning in my neighborhood.
Right, so you might get chased by the neighbor's dogs.
Yeah, so and anyway, I did not train enough to comfortably use this. So my recent full marathon, I just trusted my old shoe.
And you finish.
I finished.
Turn around, bro. Show them
Okay.
the t-shirt. Show them the t-shirt. Yeah, there you go. You finished 42.195 km. I was there to kind of welcome him back at the marathon. So congratulations to you and all the other finishers who did it.
Yeah.
Tech doping free.
Tap doping free, yeah.
Tap doping
I did
free.
not use this at all. Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
clean.
It's pretty
Okay.
clean, and that one
Yeah.
looks very worn out. It's still got the dirt from Dataran Merdeka on it.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
congratulations, Johnson. Thank you for bringing this subject to light. Kind of hybrid between tech and sports right there on Christmas Eve. So if you're going out and you're getting a present for someone on Christmas Eve, I would personally recommend you get them something that's tech doping free, unless you have extra money to spend. I don't know. Is there any benefit to the shoe?
Actually, there are, but it comes with a price. So this one retail is at 1,299
For a pair of shoes.
for a pair of shoes.
And 3% of your energy back. I'm not sure how you make that equation.
For a full marathon, you run anywhere between 60,000 to 80,000 steps. So 3% of that is actually around 1.5 kilometers. So just imagine with your normal running rate, wearing this, you are 1.5 kilometers ahead of your competitor or yourself.
Well, there you go. It does make a difference, I suppose, but are you ready to fork out that price tag? And on top of that, do you really need it? Do you really need it? I'm not so sure. Would you wear one, Jess? You would. But your job involves sitting down most of the time.
My stuff, I need some energy from that thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
need
know
a
if it works
boost.
that way.
No,
But
that we
if
have
he's sitting
under
down,
the
does it give him energy if he sits down?
No.
Not
No,
while me,
you-
Unless you
not while
run
me
it
doing
properly.
not while me sitting down
Okay.
right now. I think it's good for me to
Okay, okay.
Maybe you create
Mobility.
mellower music.
Yes, yes.
We don't want that. So on that note, thank you very much, Johnson. I'm wishing you a happy Christmas, a Merry Christmas to you and your family. How is the celebration going to be like?
Oh, it's going to be cool. We are going to have a nice dinner downtown. Yeah, and then it's a family thing. So
Big tree,
Christmas.
small tree? What's it
Oh,
like?
okay, not as big as this one. Half the size.
Half the size. All right. Merry Christmas to you and your family, Johnson.
Merry Christmas.
And singing us off the air, Jazz is going to bring a very special number that you all know so you can sing along. I hope we're in your households today as you celebrate Christmas or get ready for the big celebrations. Thank you for spending an hour with me on Talk to Terrence. And on that note, take us home, Jazz. Merry Christmas, y'all, and a Happy New Year.
Jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells ring and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells chime and jingle bells ring. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square. In the frosty air, what a bright time is the right time to rock this night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go gliding in a one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet, jingle around the clock. Mix and mingle and jingle and beat. That's the jingle bell, that's the jingle bell, that's the jingle bell.